This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Agit Tevach, Agizin Tevach, Agit Yar. So we know during the Aseret Yimei Tshuva the way that we say Kaddish is slightly different than during the rest of the year. And the word Le'ela, Min Kail, we say Le'ela, Le'ela, Mikail. Now, Le'ela, we say Le'ela Ula'ela, don't we? Well, if you look in the Mishnah Berurah, in Siman Tavkuf Pei Beis, in Sivkatan Tezayin, the Mishnah Berurah says V'koiflin Le'ela, which seems to mean you say Le'ela, Le'ela. Mishnah Berurah doesn't say you say Le'ela Ula'ela, the Mishnah Berurah says V'koiflin Le'ela. Now the truth is, earlier in Siman Nun Vav Sivkatan Beis, when the Mishnah Berurah talks about the number of words in Kaddish, he does bring down to say Le'ela Ula'ela, and really the only source to say Le'ela Ula'ela is the Shulchan Aruch Harav, who does say to say Le'ela Ula'ela. But Rav Shroya Divlitsky, one of the great Mekubalim of our generation, who was nifter quite recently, he points out in his Kitzer Hilchos Halachos Umayadim in Dinei Tfilas Marav the Rosh Hashanah, he says it could be it's not a raya from the way the Mishnah Berurah says it earlier that you should say it with a vav, because there the Mishnah Berurah is quoting the Shari Tshuva in his language regarding a different point, regarding the point of how many words there are in Kaddish, that when you say Le'ela Ula'ela, you say Mikail instead of the way it's said during the year, Le'ela Minkail. But the Mishnah Berurah is not quoting the Shari Tshuva for the correct nosach. For the correct nosach, here he says V'koiflin Le'ela. And in fact, the Kitzer Shulchan Aruch in some Kuf Chav Tes of Aleph, the Aruch HaShulchan says the correct nosach is Le'ela, Le'ela. The Matei Ephraim, who in many ways is the final word on Hilchos Yom Naram, he paskins in the name of the Tshuva Me'ava, that the Tshuva Me'ava says, Rabbi Elazar Flakos, the Talmud Muvak of Noid Behuda, then all the ancient Sidurim, it says Le'ela, Le'ela. And that's the way the Matei Ephraim brings down from the Tshuva Me'ava. And in fact, Rabbi Yashiv writes in Halichos V'Hanhagos Tishrei, Amud 5, that you should say Le'ela, Le'ela. So it would seem that the more correct way to do it is Le'ela, Le'ela. After all, that's the way the Kitzer says it, the Aruch HaShulchan, and the way the Mishnah Berurah says it over here, Le'ela, Le'ela. Now, I checked in the Ezra's Torah Luach, which is usually the final word of how things are done in Batei Knesset, at least in America, and there too it says, V'koiflin Le'ela, not Le'ela Ula'ela, V'koiflin Le'ela. Amazingly, there's a new pamphlet that came out, Minhagei Yeshivat Har Vodas. And on page Mem Daled, it brings down that the correct nosach is Le'ela, Le'ela, not Le'ela Ula'ela. And in the footnote, it's written that this comes from Rabbi Yaakov Kamenetsky, and he brought it the following incredible raya. Where does it come from to say Le'ela Ula'ela? Now, why do we even do this? The Levush writes, because during the Aseret Yimei Tshuva, as nis'ala as HaKadosh Baruch Hu usually is, Hashem's aliyah, Hashem's elevation during Aseret Yimei Tshuva as Melech is kaful u'mechupal. Well, says Rabbi Yaakov Kamenetsky, the nusach of Kaddish comes from the pasuk in the Teichacha, Parak Chav Ches, pasuk Mem Gimel Kisavai, Yale Alecha Mala Mala, and the Targum on those words are Le'ela, Le'ela, and as we know, all the words of Tefillah come from either the Psukim of Tanakh or the Targum. That's what the Targum says. Le'ela, Le'ela. So it would seem that if you don't know what your nosach is, then the correct way to do it is Le'ela, Le'ela. But the Katzei Amata says that the Avid Kamar Avid, David Kamar Avid, meaning if you know your nosach, if you have a specific Messiah, then Kol HaKavod. Otherwise, it would seem like the consensus of the Poskim is whether nosach Ashkenaz or nosach Sfard, Le'ela, Le'ela, Koiflin, Le'ela. Wishing everyone a Gebench Siyar, a Gemar Chasima Tova.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.